So now that we have highlighted and discussed some of the unfounded claims against the greatest Western player of all time, we did have a question about some of the builds. One of the builds that he did have in one of his matches. Here we go. We've got the Perkz build, the Perkz Rift Maker. He went Rift Maker. All right, there it is. We found the way to trigger him. Not only is it patch notes, it's item notes too, and of course a classic of Facecheck, losing to the keeper of the shop. Boris has taken another one and taken a nice little chunk of the 11 million. LS, this is all you. What is wrong with this Rift Maker?
I mean, the Rift Maker makes literally no sense, because Rift Maker, I think the one time where I complimented Power of Evil for doing the Rift Maker build, it was specifically because his character was a primary carry in the comp, as well as the enemy team was designed to isolate a character, right? Whereas in this team composition, Perkz is not the primary carry. The primary carry is Viego, just getting a reset. If Viego gets a reset, everything's going to be fine and dandy. If Aphelios is alive, everything's fine and dandy. And to make matters worse, you have a Tom and a fucking Braum. There's no reason to go Rift Maker when the enemy has 4 HP stackers. 4 fucking champions that are stacking HP.
Oh my god,
So
you're still selling Leandries, man. It's 2021.
Dude,
We're still selling Leandries out here.
Look, I'm in the fucking game, okay? I know that you're like, it's totally fine. Like, look. So, like, no, but honestly, they have 4 HP stackers on the enemy team. This is the picture-perfect Leandries game, where you get the most benefit out of its passive. Is its passive called Agony, or is it Anguish? I don't even actually fucking know. The bonus, it might be Anguish, yeah. So, the Rift Maker makes no fucking sense.
Oh, no, it's Torment.
Whatsoever.
It's Torment, but the item's called Anguish. It's called Leandries Anguish, and then the thing is, the
passive.
The unique passive is... Oh, wait.
Okay.
No, Agony is... So, Torment is the dealing damage that burns enemies. Agony is the 0 to 12% bonus magic damage. So, like, the passive comes in 2 forms. Torment and Agony. Okay.
Okay.
Today we learned.
Yeah, so anyway, I mean, TLDR is obviously that is an awful fucking Rift Maker spot. It makes no sense. Leandries will massively outperform it, and then you just want the cooldown reduction as well that you're going to get from the Leandries and the passive, because again, you're not the primary carry, you're a supporting champion in this team comp.
I mean, the only way that I think that so I was trying to rationalize why he could potentially go it. I think the only advantage that you'd have here is just try to be tankier, right? I think that must be the only reason why you're going Rift Maker.
Yeah, right. But that means he misunderstands his identity in the comp.
Yeah, or maybe he's just so fucking woke that he knows that he gets caught so much that he just needs the tank stats. Like, he just knows he's gonna miss position. It's genius.
Yeah, the regular season, he wasn't able to shake it off. Maybe. This is great. You either die a Rift Maker or live long enough to be a Leandry salesman. So thank you for that, LS. Breakdown of Perkz' Rift Maker, what he was thinking, what he should be thinking of, and how to optimally think moving forward. All right. Let's dive into the matchup itself. Cloud9, Team Liquid. I would say that, I guess for me, it felt like the Team Liquid games, I guess the Team Liquid Cloud9 series felt more in control by Team Liquid, even though the series was closer than the Evil Genius's Dignitas one. In Evil Genius and Dignitas, I felt like they were fighting a lot. People were just randomly getting caught out in mid and just being in weird spots. Whereas in TL versus Cloud9, Santorin did steal the Baron in game 4 to close it out. Like, Cloud9 was in that reverse sweep kind of mentality there, but Team Liquid looked more of the dominant team. What did you
it's
see?
like a massive throw. I mean, those types of situations are like, until that I don't see massive throws like that, I feel like it's going to be really hard for NA teams to compete at Worlds, because even if they roll over other teams early games, when you look at like the teams that are coming out that they're going to most likely play against, right? Like teams like RNG, for example, I don't think that they're going to like you can throw the game as hard as they did. Like they're getting, I think it was second or third dragon, but they're getting dragon bot side, and then at the same time they're trying to like defend their top tier 1. Like you have to be okay with these trades. Like if you are stacking dragons versus a competent team, they're probably going to try to do something top side if they're not fighting the dragon, right? Like they're going to cross map in some capacity. And the fact that they had one person go up and die, and then they have a second person, they have like the Shen ult or something, he goes and dies too, and then they TP Gen so the third person dies. Like this is a massive throw. People don't talk about it because Santorin just ends up like stealing the Baron. So in terms of like the change of pace, it's not like it's like TL was winning and then there's like a 30-second window where it looks shaky and then they're winning again. So it doesn't feel like they're actually losing at any point. But that's a 50-50 Baron that could potentially be even played better by C9. Like maybe they could find a way to zone the jungler or stop Baron damage, or maybe they just win the 50-50 smite. And then we have a completely different game. Maybe we go to a game 5. I feel like these are the biggest issues that I see with North America are like these types of trades. Like you have to be okay minimizing your losses at some point. And it feels like NA teams like, they like as soon as they start taking a loss, they just take the whole fucking L. They take the massive L instead of just like being like, yeah, you can get our top tier 1. It's fine. We're playing towards dragon and we're stacking dragons and we're stronger. So for like this soul, we're just gonna have an advantage, and you're gonna be forced to fight a dragon fight for soul that you actually are weaker than us for. Like I think that's the key that we're looking for here when looking at NA games, to start saying like, oh, we have hope now.
LS, when you're coaching and in the brilliant mind of yours, did you ever have like a value chart of like, hey, this is what it should be traded for, like a top towers, and obviously dragon has changed over time, Baron buff has changed over time, tower gold has changed over time, but did you have like a chart, or have a chart like what is worth what?
No, not explicitly, but this is something that's bothered me a lot the last few days. I mean, obviously I haven't been around, right? I've been preoccupied with other matters, but there's a lot of talk about like Fudge's freezes in the series, right?
Yeah.
And it's so weird to me that people have such a black and white idea of just arbitrary, like you do freeze, you don't freeze, and it's like, you fucking morons. It's never black. Like,
it's a concept. That's what it is.
It's a concept that requires variables to be present that then make a black and white conclusion. But no one's talking about the variables. They're just talking about a black and white conclusion without the variables being present. But the way that they arrive or evaluate the variables is fundamentally flawed in the first place, because otherwise they wouldn't make the assertions that they do. But it's just so fucking weird. One of the ones that I remember going over was like the 11th. There's one game where Alfari just runs mid and Fudge is freezing top lane, and if you go and calculate what ends up happening, like in terms of like gold trade, EXP trade, it's better for Cloud9. In the end, unironically, right? But people don't want to do this, and it's really fucking weird to me. One of the in-depth conversations I've had with Nemesis and Fudge, and like obviously other players that I interact with on the daily, is it's so strange to me how RTS players and fighting game players they fucking claw for every inch of data that they can get in order to min-max, but mobile players don't fucking care. They can't tell you how much EXP a wave's going to give you or how much gold a wave is going to give you. They can't tell you.
Just have to, they
can't fucking do it. They can't do it. Which is why here I am 3 years later still having to fucking talk about freezing and itemization, because they're all fucking incompetent. They're all so incompetent because it's not a super necessary thing to do in order to win right now. And it's also not something that is so readily apparent, right? It's like assessing Moonstone Renewer in the middle of a team fight. It's really hard to do that. It's not apparent what's actually going on, right? You can't see all the ticks going off. You can't see the auras. You can't see like the fucking the buffs if it has synergy with items. It's not readily apparent. What is readily apparent is slice and dicing through an enemy, Wing a champion, and then killing them. Right? Like that, you can feel it tangibly. A lot of people don't actually want to learn the game. This is just a thing. People are actually allergic to learning, which is why pro play has been stagnant for so many years. So the thing that's like it's mortifying me the past few days. I mean, I've seen it on social media. Again, I haven't streamed, been preoccupied with other stuff, is the way that various pro players and personalities have talked about various freezes that Fudge did. And you can just tell they're actually telling you they don't understand the game. And it's so fucking insane to me.
Hey, thanks for watching VENN Esports. Make sure to hit that subscribe button below and explore the other videos. In fact, click on the videos that are on the screen right here. They're right here. Click on them.